dishonest, cheating and lying, but so that after 1 minute they go to sleep. So we cannot say too much also. It's a couple of things. Until situation comes when those ones who are willing to listen, that their hearts are thirsty, then they will open and they will give. You are asking about what the khutbah is saying, false hopes from Allah, which is a prayer from who? Hazrati Hasan al-Basri. Say. Right, it is from the hadith. The Prophet ﷺ, those ones who have so much false hopes in Allah. What is the full hadith? Say. Intelligence is speaking about intelligence. And who are the intelligent people? There are three categories. Two of them, they're in safety. One is not. The ones in safety, as Surah Al-Yasin is explaining, those ones follow those who ask you no fee and who themselves, they are in the rightly guided stations. They are guiding you. They're not just sitting there, they're guiding you. Guiding means they say turn left, turn right, stop, go forward, move back. And those who follow them, they're in safety. Those who say, I don't want to follow. Turn right, I want to turn left. Stop and say, why stop? You're being rebellious. You're not following. They fall to the third category. You are not in safety. You understand? The false hopes, majority, I think, false hopes in Allah. Why is that false? Aren't we supposed to have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Are we supposed to? Isn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy and compassion and forgiveness limitless? It is. Aren't we supposed to hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yes. But the Prophet is speaking about those ones who have false hopes in Allah. What is that meaning? They hope. Is it that the hope is false, or they themselves, they are false? Who are the false ones? That they say something and it's not true. That's false. They say something is not true. Allah saying, do this, and they say, I'm not going to do it. But it's okay, you're going to forgive me anyway. Allah is saying, follow those ones. I'm not going to follow. Follow those ones. It is an order. I'm not going to follow. Allah is merciful. So many people thinking this way. So many people, we understand if you're not in tariqat, you're going to say that, well, he is just a man. He's no higher than a prophet. Why you have to go to him? Whatever he is, whatever he claims, Allah is higher than him. Why I have to follow him? And so many shaykhs and so many saints, to test their murids, they show that side of that humanity to take out the poison that is inside from them. Because in reality, if they show their nearness, so many are just going to fall into prostration to them. So they show something there. And those ones are lost. Those ones say, I don't want to follow. I follow Allah. I follow Prophet. I follow this saint. I follow Shaykh Naksibendi. I follow Sultan al-Awliya. I follow SahibulSaif. He's not higher than that. And how many more times we have to talk about how this kind of logic and reasoning, it is coming from shaitan. Why have to make prostration to him? He is no higher than Allah. I make prostration to Allah. But Allah has sent that one to be authority to you. And the Prophet is saying, those ones that they have attained that knowledge, they're in safety. Those ones who are looking for that knowledge, they're in safety. Those ones who are not, but they have so much wrong feelings towards those one with knowledge, and they have wrong feelings towards those ones who are looking for that kind of knowledge. They say, well, Allah is going to forgive me anyway. The forgiveness comes not just by word. The forgiveness comes with something. The forgiveness that comes with a word, that is false. The forgiveness that just comes with the words, like this world we're living. I'm sorry. Okay, I already said I'm sorry. Why are you upset with me? I said I'm sorry. What else you want from me? And Muslims have started to adopt this. Don't you know, even in this world, for a government just to say I'm sorry is not a word. They have to pay so much. Billions and billions. If they say, I'm sorry, we did something wrong. Okay, now there is a bill. There is a bill there you have to pay. Allah is demanding a huge bill for us? No. What is that then? That forgiveness. Adam alayhi salam spent 300 years on one foot begging Allah to forgive him. How many more tears? Is it Allah needing that? Allah doesn't need it. We need it to understand if we're really asking for forgiveness or not. To be asking ourselves if we're really sorry or we're not. Or we're just saying that we are sorry. And are we understanding if we say, even my forgiveness is not sincere, and I'm sorry for that. As the dua of Hasan al-Basri is saying. As the dua of Hazrati Rabiatul Adawiyah is saying, every astaghfirullah you're making, you have to say astaghfirullah for that because you don't mean it. Because you're saying it in ghaflat. You're saying it with hypocrisy. You don't mean it. You have to say another astaghfirullah for that. So, it's not caring for Allah. It's not looking for His pleasure. It is looking for your pleasure. It is not looking to see whether Allah is pleased or not. Because when you're looking to see whether Allah is pleased or not, you will understand what shame is and what honor is. Even if Allah is not saying, you're saying, I have to do. Even if no one is looking, you say, I cannot do. Because Allah is looking. You don't need a book, you don't need a prophet, you don't need a saint, you don't need anything. It comes to you. That is part of haya. You say, I cannot do that. At least you're going to feel, and at least you're going to ask. So the forgiveness, it comes with something. It comes with knowing that you have done a wrong thing. Knowing. Not saying, it doesn't matter. In fact, in the old days, not too long ago, when Islam was ruling, to even say, to do one wrong thing and to say it doesn't matter, you fall into a category of what? Kufr. Well, fasik first, and the kufr. You understand? To say it doesn't matter. These days, Muslims stepping over themselves to say what is haram is halal. What is haram? It is halal. It's okay, they say. What more of the fitna of Dajjal are we looking for? Most are not knowing what is asking for forgiveness. Because that forgiveness, it will change you. What is it changing you? Some forgiveness you're asking and then you feel free. But according to your level of faith, it's not just that you are off the hook. You understand? Then you start to feel very bad. Then you're going to run to do something. You're going to feel shame. You're going to put your head down. You're not going to be proud of anything you do, good or bad. You're not going to be proud. You're just going to do it because You say, Allah is so merciful to me. You're not going to be arrogant, never. You're not going to be angry. You say arrogance is only for Allah. You're not going to be angry. You're saying anger, Allah can be angry to me. What right do I have? If someone smacks you too, you're going to say, I deserve it. What right I have? I did so many wrong things. Oh, these days, if the guide points to you and say that is wrong, don't do that, they are ready to get very upset, very angry, to burn everything down. So many words, so many experience, so their lives together say, this is coming from arrogance. You are not going to. If you're sorry, you're not going to. There is a word, insaf. What is that word, insaf? How you translate the word insaf? Huh? You know that word? You don't use it? Huh? No. No, justice. Insaf. Insaf. Some the Shafi'is, they use it a lot. Insaf means you realize. You wake up. You realize. You're feeling very sorry. And you wake up a little bit. You understand? You stop jumping around so much because you understand now. You feel sorry. Insaf. There is a characteristic of people who say they are arrogant. There's characteristic of arrogance. People who are angry, there's a characteristic of anger. People who are asking for forgiveness, there is a characteristic of that. You cannot just say, there is a characteristic. Oh, these days people, so many, they stay up all night praying. They fast so many days, but we're saying their prayers and their fasting is not changing them. It's not overtaking it. They are miserable. They are angry. They are complaining. There is no rida, there is no raza, there is no acceptance of Allah. The more they pray, the more tight they become. We know people like that. Why is that? Because you are not looking deep inside. That prayer is just from the outside. It is the faith that doesn't go past the throat. It doesn't. False hope in Allah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself warned us in the Holy Quran, saying, you're going to do something wrong, and shaitan is going to tell you, don't worry, your Lord is very forgiving. And Allah is saying, don't listen, that is coming from shaitan. Where is that? That means that someone who is doing that wrong thing, nothing is moving in his heart anymore. He's not showing any regret. He's not showing any feeling bad. He's not running to fix nothing. It's just like, so what? Just astaghfirullah, and that's it. Earlier nations have done that. They do so many wrong things, and then they just pray a little bit and say, okay, it's done, it's finished. Earlier nations are doing that time. Earlier nations are doing it now. I mean, there's no earlier nations now, but those are following other ways. They say, I do something wrong. I do so many, what do I do? I can give this much to the Pope. Then he can write me, okay, you go straight to paradise. That's it. So, I just do so many wrong things, and this one is just going to pray for me, and then I'm going to be forgiven. No, it's not like that. There is always a price. If your price is not even understanding that you did something wrong, that there is a harm that is there to yourself and to others. Harm that you do to yourself, you may fix. Allah may fix it for you. You turn to Him, He may forgive you. Harm you do to others, until you fix that, Allah will not even accept your forgiveness. This is very important. Islam now is teaching that our religion is not just something private. It affects everyone around you. You cannot take their rights. You are the best person worshiping and praying, but if you cheat and you lie, even to an animal, hellfire is waiting for you. You understand? That one cannot say, I pray, I'm asking astaghfirullah, so I can treat the person like this, I can treat this animal like this, I can treat this one like this. No, wrong is wrong. You must know that it is wrong. The dua of Hazrat Hassan al-Basri is very open and is covering everything. And that is understanding and realizing the ni'mat and the gifts that Allah has given us, we're only using it to increase our disobedience. Are we understanding that or not? The first is realization. After you realize this, what are you going to do? The one who has intelligence is going to do something. He's going to do something. I don't see anyone when they do something and that is harmful to their body, and they realize they do something that is harmful to their body, and they don't stop. And they continue doing it. You want to stop. Even those ones who are addicted to so many substances that are wrong, they know it is wrong. Never you're going to find someone who says, no, this is good, this is great. They know it is harmful, but they just cannot stop themselves. So if you understand what we have done, that is wrong, then we should run to fix it. This is important. We are not hoping and saying, whatever wrong I've done, it doesn't matter. It is okay. Anyway, Allah is going to forgive. That kind of attitude, what do you do then with that kind of attitude? You will continue doing whatever wrong that is there. You will continue running after your desires, running after your ego. You are praying non-stop, but you're running for your ego. You're making zikr non-stop, but you're running to fulfill what the ego is going to trick you that way. Ego is not going to trick you to say, don't pray, don't make salah, don't make namaz. Ego is going to say, make all of that, but it's going to trick you into a different way. How are you going to know if you don't have a guide? So many people I'm watching, they don't have a guide. They don't know. It's coming to their heart, they cover it. It's coming to their heart, they seal it. It's coming to their heart, Allah is putting it there. The angels are putting it. The awliya Allah are putting it there. They choke it so it doesn't come out. You don't want to follow. This is why it is very important to follow a guide. This is why it is difficult for the ego to accept a guide. Saying, he's a man just like me, why do I have to follow him? In fact, he doesn't know so much. What, this is a cult? I cannot question. Since when I'm saying don't question? Since when Allah is saying don't question? Since when the Prophet ﷺ is saying don't question? Submission doesn't mean that you just going to close everything and just accept everything. It is impossible for a man to do that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in us, it is impossible for us to submit without asking and without getting the answers and putting in our lives. You know who submits? Only the angels they submit. They have no ego. They are not males, they are not females. They have no need for nothing. Whatever Allah says, they accept without questioning. Those parts that the angels, they question, Allah put it in their heart to ask those questions. It's not because they're sitting and they're wondering, oh, you're going to bring a mankind, don't you know they're going to make so much bloodshed? Allah is putting it there. For who? For them? No, for us. For us to understand. They know anyway. But mankind is the only creature that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created that says, you are created to know me, to come close to me, to understand me, to know me. And what is man knowing? 24 hours only their desires. 24 hours they're only knowing their ego and their disobedience and this dunya and running after that. How many are sitting down, thinking, questioning themselves? I am like this. What happened? Why am I in this way? Why is this not working? Must be something wrong I've done. You're following a Shaykh. Are you consulting to say, this is what I need to do? So, they are not running after those ones who have that divine knowledge. What are they going to be? Those ones who have false hopes in their Lord. Well, I pray, I say astaghfirullah. Isn't Allah going to forgive me? But you don't even know what you're saying astaghfirullah for. If you don't know yourself, you don't know what you're asking, it is not going to be given to you. You understand? So, from last Barat until this Barat, what are we running for? Whatever that we are going to send on the night of Barat, whatever Barat they're going to give us on that night is going to determine individually, groups, families, communities, and the whole nation how it's going to be to the next Barat. Look from last Barat to this Barat, what the Muslims, they are concentrating on, what we have experienced as a nation, and say whether Allah's mercy is reaching to us or not. Say if we are looking for Allah's mercy, or the steps we're taking is only pulling His anger. We want our next year to be good, for the pen to write good things for us. First, you have to know that we make that pen to write bad things for us. Then you have to change. This is when it comes. Everything comes back to the ego. Everything comes back to whether you know is right or is wrong. If you don't know that it's wrong, you're going to keep on doing it. Are you understanding? Inshallah. These are the days and nights of mercy and forgiveness. We should be sincere and to know. If we say, don't accept anything that you say, just like that. Say, please forgive me. Ask yourself, forgive from what? For everything I'm doing wrong. No. That's a word that you use 1,000 million times and it has no meaning anymore. No, everything. No, it has no meaning anymore. What everything? Look today, what is it? Because so many people, they're saying, oh, I'm the worst one. But if I point something out to them, so many excuses they have. So you're not saying you're the worst one. If you're the worst one, you're going to accept if I say this is wrong, this is right, this is like this, it's like that. Are we knowing how many games we're playing with ourselves? How many games the ego is playing with ourselves? If the ego is playing that game, how can we be sincere? How can we be sincere? So sit and understand. This thing, these words, today I did this, why I did that, why I say those things. Don't give yourself any excuse. You start changing. Everything has a sign. When that one is asking for forgiveness, you can see in their face. There is a light. There is a beauty that comes to them. Because they are looking to the beauty of Allah. They're not looking to their own beauty, they're looking to the beauty of Allah. And you see a softness that comes to them, and a strength that comes to them, acceptance that is from them, and good works and good words that come out from them, and a patience that comes from them, and a light that comes from them. What a great Lord our Lord is, that we are so filled with dirtiness, and just asking for forgiveness and being sincere in that, we get blessed. We're not, so many earlier punishments, they get punished. They don't get blessed. First they have to be punished, and then you start from zero again. So many. So many nations, they do everything correctly, they do one thing that is wrong, the whole nation is finished. How much mercy is Allah showing to us? Then you're going to run to fix something. You're not going to be angry. You're not going to be impatient, because you realize how weak and how dirty you are. You're not going to be so stubborn. Someone say, you say, yeah, you're right. You're not going to fight with people. You're not going to be lazy. You're not going to have so many excuses. The excuse never finishing. Everyone making excuses to themselves. The guide is telling like this, oh, no, it's because of this, because of this. You think we don't know that? Huh? But is this, you did not see this. Take it. That time you're going to change. Otherwise, you're not going to change. You can make thousands and thousands and thousands of istighfar and salawats, but it's not changing. This month, inshallah, we should change. May Allah make us to change and for us to wake up, not to get caught up by the tricks of shaitan and our ego. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Al-Fatiha.